Good afternoon, everyone. I'm recording this in Port Fairy, and I hope that you're all having a beautiful holidays. The sowing of the dragon's teeth, ubi is dies venet quem rex ad arandum agrum edixerat. Let's begin. When that day came, quem, which, accusative relative pronoun there, which the king, edixerat, pluperfect tense there, which the king had pronounced ad agrum arandum, literally for the agrum, for the field, to arandum, to be ploughed. The fact that arandum is agreeing with agrum means it must be a gerundive. When that day came, which the king had announced for the field to be ploughed, Jason, orta luce, orior is, you'll notice by my OR sound at the end of that, orior is a deponent verb. So Jason, with the luce, with the light having risen, with the sun having risen, so that's a perfect active participle ablative absolute, luce orta, with the light having risen, he secuntulit, he brought himself with his companions to the agreed place. Cum socius rather, is an ally. He brought himself with his friends ad locum to the place having been agreed, to the agreed place. Ibi, there he reperit, he found ingens stabulum, a huge stable, in which, a huge barn maybe, in which there had been enclosed tauri bulls, in which the bulls had inclusi erant, in which the bulls had been enclosed. Tum portis apertis, then, having opened the doors with the portis, notice that is ending, portis apertis, then, with the gates having been opened, he tracks it, he led the tauros, he led the bulls into the light. Et summa cum difficultate, and with the utmost difficulty he imposuit, he placed the yoke, he set up the yoke with the utmost difficulty. At aetes, but aetes cum videret, when he saw, you'll notice the imperfect subjunctive videret. Remember, the imperfect subjunctive is the infinitive form with mst, mustis, und, but aetes, when he saw, tauros, I'm seeing a verb of saying or thinking with videret, so I'm looking for an accusative and then an infinitive. As soon as I see a verb of saying or thinking, I'm going to probably find one, or find some, as in accusative and infinitive. So, when he saw that the bulls were not at all strong against Jason, were not powerful against Jason, something along those lines, he magnopere miratus est, he was greatly amazed. Miratus est, deponent verb in the perfect tense there, looks passive but is in fact active. He was greatly amazed. Nesciebat enim, for he did not know. I'm seeing another verb of knowing here, nesciebat, or in this case not knowing, so I'm again looking for an accusative and an infinitive. For he did not know his daughter to have given her help to him, as in he didn't know that his daughter had given her help to him. Notice there the perfect infinitive. For he did not know his daughter to have given. He didn't know that his daughter had given help to him. Tum Jason, then Jason, with omnibus aspicientibus, present participle, dative or ablative, probably ablative ending, which means it's going to be an ablative absolute. Then Jason, with everyone looking on, coepit agrum arare, began to plough the field. Qua in re tantam, in this task, he praebuit, he showed such diligence. As soon as I see a word like tantus, I sometimes refer to that as one of those trigger words, don't I? In which task he showed such diligence, and so I'm looking for ut plus the subjunctive, that he confercerit, relatively rare perfect form of the subjunctive, that he finished the whole task ante meridiem, before midday, as in where we get am and pm for. Ante meridiem, before midday. Hoc facto, factus, having been done, perfect passive participle, in this case with the letter O, means it's dative or ablative, probably ablative, with which thing, with this thing having been done. Having done this, we want to move away, if you remember, we've said from with which thing having been something, and sort of make it sound slightly more fluent and slightly more accurate. With this thing having been done would be better as saying having done this. Having done this, he added rather, he went up ad locum, to the place where the king was sitting, and he postulavit, and he demanded the teeth of the dragon. Ubi quos acerpit, when he received these, in agrum quem aravarat, sparsit, he scattered them with cum magna diligentia, with great diligence, in the field, quem, which, accusative, relative pronoun, in the field which he had ploughed. Horum autem dentium natura erat. The nature of these teeth, however, was talis, was of such a kind. When I see talis, I'm going to look for a result clause or a consecutive clause. Was of such a type that, where are we? That in that place where the seeds had where the scattering had happened. That's better for the sementers. Where the scattering had happened, where the sowing, let's say sowing. That in that place, ubi sementers, where the sowing facti essent had from Theo there had happened. So the nature of these teeth was such that in that place where the sowing had happened, armati, armed men, miro quodam, in an amazing way, were being produced. That armed men were being produced in the most amazing fashion. Very well done. I shall see you all soon.